Hello everyone, my name is Alva from electronicalife.com, and first off, thank you for watching this video. I wanted to talk to you about something I've been meaning to make a video about, to talk to all you guys about for a very long time. And it's about why our community, our EDM community, the music, the experiences, the events are growing so fast, and then how we can actually make it grow even faster. Okay, how we can spread the word, and spread the love, really. So I want you to first close your eyes, okay, close your eyes, and think about what was the first song, what was the first track, what was the first mix, what was the first DJ, the first experience, the first event, whatever it is or was that you went to or that you heard that made you feel like this was like the best thing on earth, or that made you change your unhappiness to happiness, your sad face to a happy face, or took you from depression to a positive life, okay? And made you go on this road that maybe you're traveling now that's going to lead to a more fruitful life. What track or experience was that? Okay, I want you to think about that. Now, back in 1998, I went to my very first rave. My girlfriend at the time had told me, hey, I'm going to go out tonight, and I'll see you tomorrow. And I was like, okay. So I didn't know where she went, but the next day she came back, and she's like, Chris, oh my God, you have to go to this thing that I went to last night. And I said, what are you talking about? What thing? She's like, I went to this rave. And I was like, rave? What the heck is a rave? Now, there wasn't any, radio stations or, TV channels or MTV or any of that kind of stuff reporting on what's happening like today. So, it's very, for the most part, it's very underground, okay? So she told me, yeah, there's like thousands of people, like 5,000 or more people. They're all happy, they're all dancing, and then like they wear different clothes. And it's not like regular clothes that we would go to school in, or it wasn't like club clothes. It was just different, and it was really cool. And I've never seen anything like it before. And the music was so different, and it was just really cool. And I said, wow, that sounds like really cool. Like I want to go to one of these things. When's the next one? So about 2 to 3 weeks later, finally go to like my first rave. Right now, some of you watching this video know of the Masterdome. Okay, now the Masterdome is a staple in rave history in Southern California. It was one of the most prominent venues in all of Southern California, where many raves happen, and a lot of DJs played there way back in the day. So that was my first one, and I remember like thinking going to it like, wow, this is like really cool. It's like in this the Masterdome was kind of like this. I think it was like an old stadium. It had this very warehousey feel. It was way opposite of like your typical club where there's bottle service and anything like that. It was none of that. It was very this underground feel. So I didn't know anything back then. I didn't know what music was what. They didn't have. You couldn't go on Google and say who's this DJ, or there was none of that crap. So it was a very new experience for me. But as I kept continuing to go out to all these types of events and raves and whatnot, I eventually developed an ear for house music, and I started going to like all these house music events. Where Mark Farina was playing, or Derek Carter, or Heather, or Doc Martin and the Wax Crew, like all these, house music DJs and all these events I was going to. And I actually eventually started DJing house music as well, because that's what I, fell in love with DJ-wise. And then about 2 years later, I ended up going to college, and I was thinking to myself, man, I need to download some music. I basically had kind of like dropped out of the rave scene because I was going to like all these house music events at the time. So I didn't really know, what was going on, in the other communities, another, like trance community and the drum and bass community or any of that kind of stuff. So I basically went on Napster, and I searched for trance, and all these, names and tracks came up, and I saw Paul Van Dyk, and I remember thinking like, man, this is a pretty big DJ. I know, because I heard his name. I'd never seen him live, but I should probably download his mix because, it's a pretty big name and a staple in the industry, right? So I ended up downloading it, and it ended up being an essential mix from Radio 1 with Pete Tong and Paul Van Dyk, which to this day is still on my computer, one of my favorite mixes of all time. Pete Tong plays a progressive, funky house mix, and then Paul Van Dyk is like doing this like trance thing, right? And I remember when the Paul Van Dyk part of the mix came on, and at the time I had like all my speakers set up surround sound style with my subwoofer, like all this bass and stuff in my apartment. And I remember like the intro to the mix, and I was like, oh man, I need to turn this shit up. So I turn it up, the beat comes in, it starts like pumping and bumping, and I remember thinking like, this is the coolest fucking music in the world. Like, this is the coolest shit. I seriously felt like we had landed on the moon, or I had landed on the moon, or discovered this planet that no one else knew about, and we were living there. And like, it was like this pot of gold type thing. I found this pot of gold. And I remember thinking also that I knew like right away, like the way it was making me think, just in that short like 30 minutes of the mix I was listening to, that it was going to change me for the good. It was going to change me for the positive, because I was already thinking like, wow, this is really cool. It's getting amped. And I also thought that this music was going to change the world. EDM as a whole was going to change the world. Maybe it wasn't trance for you, or maybe it wasn't house for you, or maybe it wasn't anything for you. Maybe it's whatever the track was that I'm asking you to remember. That was a track that's going to change the world, or going to help change you and help change the world in doing so. Okay? So really go back to what that track is, okay? Because I'm pretty sure it has changed you in a remarkable way. Now, I'm going to go back in history. In 1963, the summer of 1963, Martin Luther King and 250,000 people assembled to hear him speak, or to hear his I Have a Dream speech. Okay, 250,000. Now, in a TED Talk by Simon Sinek, he asks the question, but how many people actually showed up for him? It was zero. Okay, 0 people showed up for him. They showed up for themselves. And it's because they believed in what he was saying and took that belief and made it their own, right? So, because they believed in themselves. They believe, right? And it's amazing because 250,000 people showed up, and yet there was no cell phones, there was no email, there was no website, none of that. They didn't have the technological advances that we have today, yet 250,000 people showed up. Amazing. And even more amazing, or even just as amazing, is that it's actually happening again today. Because we have people like Insomniac that produce events like EDC, right? And people show up to EDC. Let's just say, I think last year was 130K people per day, right? Nearly 390,000 people over 3 days, almost 400,000 people. Okay? People show up to EDC, right? Why? Because they believe in what's going on. They believe in the music. They believe in an experience, and they believe in how it changed your life. Okay? And they're smiling and dancing, and they bring their friends, and they all do the same, because everybody wants to experience the same thing. Okay? Now, EDC, right? EDC is sold out. Okay, this year's EDC is sold out. Last year's EDC was sold out. And it sold out. When did it sell out? I think 2 months ago. Okay? 2 months ago from today, or maybe longer. I don't even know. I can't remember when it sold out. But it sold out without a lineup, right? Why did it sell out without a lineup, right? Because most people, most promoters, most companies that are in the music industry are like, the headliner, the big act is going to bring the people, right? But people like EDC and Coachella are selling out their events basically with no lineup, because the people are coming for the experience. Okay? The experience. It's amazing, right? People are there for themselves. Okay? They probably had something going on in their life where music changed them, where going to EDC changed them. Okay? And they took that and they shared that experience with their friends and other people, whether it's on Facebook or email or phone call or text message, right? Simply amazing. Okay? And that's what happened with Dr. King too. The 250,000 people, it was the same thing. They didn't have the email and the Facebook and all that. People believed in themselves, and they believed in themselves so much that they transpired that message over to other people, and 250,000 people showed up to hear Dr. King speak. Now, we get Electronica Live Speaking. We get messages all the time, okay? All the time through email or Facebook messages. Hey, thank you so much. EDM has changed my life. I was depressed, and now I'm not depressed anymore. Or I was having this bad experience, and I went to an event and totally changed my life. And I wanted to thank you guys so much for doing all the things that you're doing, creating this community on Facebook, and all the positive messages, this, that, and other. Right? We get those all the time. In fact, I was just at Disneyland the other day with several people, and one of them is a friend of mine named Nicole. And originally I met her through Electronica Life through Facebook, and she told me, Christian, I really appreciate what you guys are doing, because about a year ago I was going through a breakup. And you guys had posted a contest on your Facebook page, and I actually won the tickets. And I went to that event, and it totally changed my perspective into a more positive one, because I got to hang out with friends that I had not got to hang out with for a while, and I got to experience the music again, and it totally changed me, and now I'm a more happier person. Okay? And it's just so amazing, because people, you watching this video, have that same opportunity too, to change people's lives by sharing your experience with people of the music. Okay, or sharing this video, whatever it is, just sharing it, because you can impact someone else's life. Okay, maybe they're going through a breakup, maybe they're depressed, maybe they have cancer, maybe all hell's breaking loose. I don't really know, but what I do know is that this music has the power to change people. Okay. Now, when I first started, let me erase this. When I first started Electronica Life, in May of 2011, we had 0 friends. And we'll just talk about Facebook here, because there's obviously Twitter and all the other social communities and whatnot. But in 2011, we had 0 friends. In 2000, let's speed up to now, 2014, we are over 375,000 friends. Over 375,000 friends in the span of 3 years. And people are like, well, how is that possible, right? And it's because there's people that want to be inspired and like to share the message, right? And these people share messages. Let's just say this is us. We put out a positive message about, Plur or EDC photo with fireworks and things like that. And these people share that with other people on Facebook, Twitter, etc., 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 right? And then they get inspired, right? Or they leave, or then they share it with another person, right? On Facebook, etc., etc., etc. And then this person comes out and says, "Oh my God, can't wait for my first EDC." Right? And why are they saying that? Because they want to experience what this person has already experienced. Because this person probably said, "Oh, that was EDC when XYZ DJ played. That was the best night of my life." Right? And this person's like, "Oh my God, can't wait for my first EDC," because they want to experience the same thing this person did, the positivity that is now reflecting on everybody else. Okay? One person can change really the rest of the world, or millions and millions and millions of people. And I want to let me share this with you. Just the other day, I was talking to a girl named Sarah Linda, who is a DJ. She has a group, okay? And when I first talked to Sarah Linda through Skype, she was like this. Blank face, okay? No emotion. She basically said, "I'm a DJ and I have this group. I don't know how to get gigs. I'm stuck. What do I do?" And obviously, she has something inside of her, okay? Something inside of her that wants to get out creatively and to send a message, a positive message out to people, right? And so when I talked to her on Skype, I gave her some ideas, okay? And just the other day when I went to go catch up with her again on Facebook messages, she told me, "I'm doing so good. I wanted to thank you so much. I'm doing so good. We're DJing this pretty big event. We're co-promoting the event. I made the flyers for the event, and I'm actually making the tickets for the event too." Now this, from what I'm understanding from her, it's not like some little 10-person, 50-person, 100-person event. This seems like in the 500 plus or even multi-thousand-person event, right? And now, instead of this blank face, she's happy. Okay? And I didn't use Electronica Life to, send out a message to her Facebook page. I directly connected with her, originally through Skype and through Facebook message. My point here is that every one of you watching this video, okay, has the ability to do that. Okay, and you don't need to be an Electronica Life. Okay, you don't need to have 375,000 friends. You don't need that. You need just to take a small action and share your experience with people. Whether that's sharing a positive photo on Facebook, or whether that's making a mix for your friends and sending that to them, or whether that's writing them a letter and telling them about your experience, or an email about your experience, and how it'll probably change their life too and make them happy. Right? Because really, we don't all need to change, we don't need to set out with the goal of we're going to change 1 million lives, okay, by ourselves. Because all it really takes is one person to create this trickle effect and inspire many, 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 okay, especially with all the technology we have. Now, I directly inspired Sarah Linda, right? But now she has the opportunity, because now she's playing at this event, to play music, create this event, promote this event, that will have lots of people there, dancing, smiling, and enjoying the experience, right? And it's all because I took the time, singularly, however you say that word, to talk to her. And that inspired her to do what she's doing. Do you see what I mean? You don't need to be a big website or a big company or a big entity to inspire, set out on a goal, inspire millions. Yeah, that would be cool. That would be awesome. In fact, if you are a website or a company and you're watching this video, I inspire you to do so because you have, a great means. However, if you're just a person that loves going to events and you love to inspire other people, just take that small action and help somebody out. Okay? Now, for all you DJs out there, it's the same thing. It's the same thing. You have the ability with your music. You have something special in you, like Sarah Linda does, to create and share those experiences. Okay? And all the DJs and producers out there has never been a better time in history than right now to become, a big DJ or a big producer in the industry. Okay, with all the technology we have, with how music is being distributed through, Facebook, YouTube, SoundCloud, Mixcloud, all those things. And then we have Insomniac, right, who just announced recently their record label. And why? And why? Because they understand this is happening right now. They understand this. They understand that we are a movement happening right now. That history is really repeating itself, and that we have the chance to become a more positive world and more life-changing world with all this stuff that's going on, the music, the experiences, and people sharing everything, right? Really, really powerful. So all you DJs and artists out there, whether it's Insomniac's record label or their discovery program or other websites or people trying to help you out and get discovered, it's way more easier than it used to be, and far more achievable. And the only thing you really need to do at this point is just buckle down and put some work in. Okay? When I started Electronica Life in 2011, we're at 0 friends. And now we're at 375,000. We have the potential to reach, when we put a message out, we have the potential to reach 375,000 people. And that was in the span of 3 years. Okay? You guys can do it too. It just takes some work. Set a goal every day that says, I'm going to do this. Maybe it's I'm going to make a track, or I'm going to connect with people online, X amount of people online every day. And I'm going to make a track like every month or once every week, whatever it is. Set a goal and go for it, because everybody needs you. Everybody needs you, because you are going to provide a message that's going to create an experience that is going to do all this stuff right here. And if you understand all this, you're going to be way farther ahead than the next person that doesn't know this, the next person in line, the other DJ trying to come up, in the game. Okay? This is really, really, really powerful. Okay? If you think about it, we have people like Above and Beyond, right? Above and Beyond. Okay? Above and Beyond, who do these shows, whether they're at EDC or they're little small shows, and they're putting out these messages, right? As they're DJing, right? Messages like, all we need is love, or something inspirational, or a story that is going on with their particular song that they're playing or with their set. Okay? And these messages are beaming down to people at the show, right? And then these people are like blown away. They're either texting their friends right now, sending them pictures of these messages, right? Trickle effect, boom. or they're going on Facebook right then or when they get home and then sharing these pictures. Okay? And why? Because it's positivity. They believe in the music. They believe in the experience. They want to be there. So powerful. And it's no wonder, right? It's no wonder why they call their tour and their album, what do they call it? Group therapy. Right? Group therapy. Because people are being inspired at these things. They're changing lives. The music, EDM, the EDM community, the culture is changing lives right now in such a rapid pace. And I'm making this video right now so that you guys can watch this video, share it with people, or at least share your experiences, your positivity with other people, so that they come to the next event, or so that they start listening to something. Okay? And maybe it's your friends that are already happy and they just want to be happier. Okay? And they want to experience, the positivity and all that too. But then again, maybe it's somebody that really needs it. Okay? Maybe it's somebody that's struggling right now. I've been there. I know what it's like to struggle. Okay? And when I first heard Paul Van Dyk's mix, it totally changed my mindset around. And don't get me wrong, I haven't been a positive person all my life, or I haven't always continued to be positive. We all go through, hurdles and bumps in life, right? But I always go back to turning on my music or going to an event, and it inspires me to actually do well. Some of you that are watching this know about my videos where I talk about going to the beach, putting in my earphones, and turning on my favorite mix. I'm sure a lot of you do that too, or go to the gym, or go in your car, right? Because it's so powerful, right? It really changes us. Now, what I wanted to tell you guys, okay, all of this, right? So, not only did, basically was Paul Van Dyk one of the reasons that, I'm here today and I'm being able to make this video and, hopefully inspire you and share all this information. But going back to the beginning of this video, my girlfriend, okay, do you want to know what the first event that she went to was? The first event she went to was Audiotistic, which is not surprisingly enough an Insomniac party. Right? Insomniac party. So the very first event she went to was an Insomniac party where she came to me and said, this is like the coolest thing, you have to go. And then I actually ended up going to some smaller rave event 2 or 3 weeks later. Right? It's funny. It really is funny how people like Insomniac have created this chain, that they're the pioneers, especially in the United States, and if not the world by now, the founding pioneers have helped created this movement and these people to start being inspired and positive. It's crazy. It really is crazy. Now, I want to end this video with something pretty important here. A lot of people might be watching this video and thinking, well, you're fucking crazy. Well, I probably am a little crazy, but I mean, a lot of us are crazy, right? And they might say, well, this is all drawn up and, what have you, and it's your opinion. Well, that is right, it is my opinion. But I believe I have a lot of factual stuff here to back it up, okay? And I did something that I think is actually going to bring home the point really well. Okay, I went and Googled, sorry above and beyond, I'm going to erase part of you for a little bit, but I went and Googled the term hate. I just popped in hate, Googled hate. And it resulted in 195 million results. 195 million results. And that's a lot, right? Then I went and Googled love. And guess how many results that returned? 2 billion results. So it was actually 2 billion and change. 2 billion results. So it's pretty apparent that we all want to be loved. We all want to love. We all want to spread this love, this inspiration, this belief, this movement. Okay? Thank you guys for watching this video. My name is Christian Alva from electronicalife.com. Have a great day and share all this with somebody that you love.